What is it, against Central Michigan where that guy was on the sidelines? You can't make this up.
It's the Stallions Bowl.
It was like a Halloween outfit, right? I'm going to go dress like Bear Bryant.
Hey, you'd look good in houndstooth, Coach. I bet Coach would look good in houndstooth.
And I make light of it because, are you me? That actually happened.
Light it.
The Triple Option is brought to you by Wendy's. Wake up with Wendy's 2 for $3 breakfast.
Light it.
All right, time for another edition of the Triple Option. Rob Stone, Mark Ingram, Urban Meyer back here with you. Loaded show this week. Is Notre Dame, guys, in a must-win situation? Coach Meyer is talking buyouts ahead of week 3. I don't know what's going on with you, Coach, right now. We discuss post-game win sprints. Yeah, we're running sprints after the game. USF head coach Alex Golesh joins us after the Bulls' huge win inside the Swamp, as always. Thanks for joining us. We love having you here. Remember, please, if you can, rate, subscribe over at Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever it is you get your podcasts, as well as across social media. You can find us at 3X Option Show. Again, new shows coming your way every Wednesday on YouTube and wherever it is you get your podcasts. So let's get things fired up with any given Saturday. USF, folks, the Bulls down there in Tampa, they have started this season by taking down 2 ranked teams, and they have their sights set on a 3rd straight ranked win this Saturday at the U when the Bulls take on Miami. And we are really honored to be joined by one of the hottest names in the coaching biz right now, Bulls head coach Alex Golesh. Coach, thanks for joining us. I know you don't like talking about yourself. I've been listening to your emotional conversations since that big win in the Swamp, so we'll primarily talk your program, but I know Coach Meyer's got a couple for you right off the bat.
Coach, I know it's a Monday, and you got a big one, so for you to give your time today, I've been there. Thank you. That's great. I want to hit you right square in the jaw with this one, Coach. We've known each other. You've been great to me over the last few years. When you stand in front of a team, and I've done this, and in my heart, I'm thinking there's no chance we can do. I mean, deep down, I'm going to motivate. I'm going to do the best we can for our staff, for our players, but we can't beat these guys. And then there's other times, even when the world says we can't, deep in my soul, I said, we can get this one, man. Where were you as you stood in front of that team getting ready to face, a blue blood, the University of Florida?
Yeah, I think I'm so real with our guys. I think I've always been that way. Just so real with where we are, where we're going, what's got to get done. And I'm that way week to week with them, and I sit down with them Friday night. It's really like my favorite night because it's really the first time I think that I have the plan really thoroughly thought out. And we're morning practice team, so like Sunday to Monday to Tuesday to Wednesday is like bonkers for me, all the way Wednesday night into Thursday morning. So Friday night when I've got the team is the first time where I'm like, all right, here is actually how we're going to go win this game. To your question, Coach, I think I build up confidence throughout a week in myself. We've taught so much process-driven confidence building throughout the week with our guys that ultimately you get to a point where you start to believe that you can go get this thing done. I think, and you've been there, Coach. You've taken programs that weren't great, made them great. Like, I think that first year there was like this hope and this looking around of, man, I wonder who's going to make a play. And I think in year 2 for us, it was a belief. But I think still a little bit of a hope just because there was no proof of concept and they hadn't seen it done consistently themselves. I think crazy enough right now, there's a true expectation to win. And part of that is because they now have proof of concept. But I think more than anything else, this group is really, really unique. And I know every coach will sit here and tell you that, but they're unique because they've been through the crap. They've been through the being told how terrible they are. They've been through being embarrassed. And the ones that are left have bought into this process-driven program where all they worry about is their day to day.
As a coach, you come walking in, and this is the typical coach. I'm not saying you are, but on a Sunday, you usually come in, Mark. I did, and I'd start watching. And I'd get, especially playing like a Florida, Georgia, in that SEC or the upper part of the Big Ten. I start thinking, how in the hell are we going to block this cat? How are we going to do this? And then you get the how. But then you get to the Wednesday, Thursday, and you're watching and you just call these cats out there that got this process driven. And then all of a sudden Thursday you wake up, Mark, and you start you kind of get chilled up a little bit, like, hey, we got this damn thing. Here's how we're, on Sunday it's how. And then by you get to Thursday, it's like when. Did that happen this week when you first flipped on the video and said, damn? And then all of a sudden as the week progressed, or were you from the outset, were you ready to go?
No, Coach, I'm like the most paranoid human being ever. On Sunday, literally, I sit here and like wallow in my own misery. Like, who is going to block these creatures? And more importantly, like, how do you not let them sub on third down? That if I learned anything coaching at the last spot, like every team in that league, like, man, on third down, you're like, where did they find 4 of these guys? Like, at the same time, fresh as can be. So, like, literally, I start the week with, what does second down look like so that third down they can't run these cats on the field?
Yes.
Wow.
And in this day and age, like, it's some of the best money can buy. And so you're like, man, I better have a good second down plan before I get to anything else. But I do think as you go throughout the week, and I think if you're real with your guys, like, hey, like we're playing an incredible front this week, and there's 2 dudes on edges where yeah, like didn't get a ton of sleep last night, but like by the end of Monday, like, here's our plan to how we're not going to let these guys affect. At least we're not going to lose the game because these dudes are just running free. And you're right, Coach. I think by Thursday, once you've seen your guys work and you feel like your plan is in place, you walk away with real confidence that, all right, like, they're going to make their plays too, but ultimately we've got a plan to at least equalize it.
Coach, very appreciative for your time. Love what you're doing in the program. I live here in Florida, so I love what you're doing in the program. But we all know winning football is coming down to turnover ratio. 2 ranked wins. You guys have yet to turn the football over. Have forced 3 against Boise State. Versus Boise State. Forced 1 against Florida in the swamp. But that ball security starts with your quarterback, who is absolute baller, Byron Brown. What I know about him, but for the people who do not know about your quarterback, what does he bring to the table that for those who may not know who he is?
Yeah, Mark, for the ball security piece, you're dead on. I'm knocking on every piece of what I got here. But we work the heck out of it, obviously. Every single day. That's the first thing we do right after walkthrough. We hammer it home. We coach it literally throughout the season as if we're in fall camp. And it's truly a standard of offensive football that if that ball's loose or sloppy, you're gonna get held accountable for it. So at the end of starts Byram, I think Byram is such a unique football player. Like, this kid has grown tremendously. We had him my first year, was a redshirt freshman. I think in a lot of ways was out there playing ball, like at times looked like backyard ball a little bit. But created so much with his feet, allowed himself to develop as a passer. But I think the thing that he established 2 years ago was he was, if not the toughest, then one of the toughest human beings, mentally and physically tough in his program. He's a young guy that learned what real process looks like. And you were able to point to him really early in his time and say, you got to be like that guy. And I think when the quarterback is also one of your toughest dudes on the football team, both mentally and physically, I think it certainly gets the offense going. It certainly sets a standard offensively, but I think it's huge for the defense.
Yes.
I mean, beyond huge for the defense. He's a young guy that 2 years ago the defense would rally around. And again, when you're at that time, he was 19. Nobody knew who he was, but as we were building defensively, when the defensive staff can point to the quarterback,
Yeah.
I think it creates a really neat buzz certainly in the locker room. Then he went into last year and had a tough start, then got hurt and got beat up early. Played some really, really physical games early, got beat up, and then got hurt. And it was kind of like the air came out of the program there for a while. It took us a second to get back going, but he had such an incredible offseason. And again, I think what's really neat about him is his process is so consistent. Like from Sunday at 10 a.m. to what Friday night at 11 p.m. looks like, it's the same every single week. And he keeps asking questions, and he's so curious about, is there a way to make this better or this better or this better? Just truly about his process, both physically, mentally. And when he got hurt last year, the next morning, 10 a.m. Sunday, here he comes walking in, this time on crutches, and never wavered. Continued to lead, continue to grow. And I think now you're getting this 21-year-old mature version of a guy that's really confident in himself, has real authentic confidence, and again, defensively rallies around what he is and who he is. The offensive line is more mature, has really rallied around him as well. And I think in this modern day college football where, like, I've gotten the question of why do you choose to stay from just about everybody, my answer is truly, why wouldn't you?
Mhm.
He's in year 3 of the same system, year 3 of understanding of what's going on around him, and understands what his role in this whole thing, which is beyond playing quarterback, to be a true leader, to exemplify what the identity of this program, at least what we want it to be.
Your bio is amazing. I'm going to try and rip through it. Just give me kind of some bullet points of why and what you took away from some of these stops, okay? We start with your birth. You're born in Moscow. What happened? What's going on there?
My parents are Russian, and when I was 7, so 91, that was that period where Soviet Union fell, and they were letting people get out. And my aunt was in New York, so my mom's sister, and as long as you had somebody that could sponsor you, they'd let you out. And my parents, incredible people, selfless people, left literally every single thing they had behind. And I have an older brother who's a couple years older than I am, literally got on a plane and came and started from scratch. And literally had, as I understand it, really good lives over there, but knew that wasn't what they wanted for their kids. Like a truly, really cool story.
Yeah.
And my dad drove a box truck for a long time. My mom cleaned houses, and I watched them grind through that time. It was pretty neat.
I got a quick one because I know you got to go. I want, again, take a viewer to a coach. You got a player surrounding you. You look at the scoreboard, it's 16-15. You got 2:07 left. I'm getting chills thinking about it. You're in the swamp, really loud place, obviously, and you go without a third down. You systematically, I was watching it live obviously on television as you're moving it down the field. Take us in the huddle. Those are those memorable. I'm 61 years old now. I remember all of them. Those moments where you huddle your guys up and say, realize what's about to happen, or is just like you said, process, just get first downs. Take us in that huddle real quick.
Yeah, I literally every 2-minute drive for us, starting with spring ball, tell them the same thing. One, tell them the situation, but two, what we do offensively, a 2-minute drive is your because it's truly how we play. There's no uniqueness to ball mechanics, where the ball's got to go. Where I think in probably traditional offenses, you're reminding guys, man, make sure the ball gets here. The quick reminders are, man, get out of bounds if you can. If you can't, get what you can and go down. Remind them of the situation. We did a good job with the timeout piece. We used one on defense. So we used one earlier on a guy cramping up on an extra point. We used one on defense. Florida helped us out a little bit there by throwing it twice in a 4-minute situation. And so we were able to have a timeout. And so told him the situation. I did tell tell Byram that you're the best quarterback in the country, and everybody's about,
Damn.
and
How good's that?
and just kind of smiled. But literally, I just said, "Do what we do. Let's rock one at a time," and we did.
I mean, you just keep getting those grammaticas running through the campus. You let him step up and win it for you, man. I love that last name. That carries a lot of weight in Tampa and with that program.
Yeah, he's one of the more unique human beings I've ever been around, this Nico Grammatica, and you meet the family, you know why. But
yeah,
you talk about a young guy that's got an incredible mindset, pretty special. But I'll give our offensive staff a ton of credit. The communication was awesome going into it. The communication throughout the drive is really, really solid. But I think the biggest factor, Coach, to answer your question, was you get a chunk play like that. It allows you to do a lot of things, allows you to run the ball, allows you to not have to feel like you have to push it down the field, which opens up a lot.
I know you got to get moving, Coach. We know you got a big game to prepare for, but what we do on the show is we've been asking you questions. We allow you to ask any one of us a question, and then we'll let you go. So that's what we do on the triple option, and we appreciate you being here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with you, Mark. Toughest hit you ever took. Who was it, and how did that feel?
In all of football.
Let's go college, and you got to be real here.
Spikes? No, did he get you?
Man, in college,
Should be one you remember.
I had I was running on the sideline. It was versus Tennessee. Eric Berry comes downhill and hits me, and I try to like hurdle over him, right? And he just mops my thigh, like just hits my thigh. I land on my neck. I got a thigh contusion, but it was a first down, so it was all good. But Eric Berry, for sure, he was a all-pro,
Monster. Yeah.
all SEC, one of the first-round pick, and I tried to make a highlight on him, and he made me pay for it. Hit me dead on my thigh contusion. Got to see the chiropractor for the next week, but we won the game, though.
Coach Golesh, can I be greedy with one last question? Because I want to hit something that I know is really important to your program. This quote: "This is not a group of 5 job. I got to go beat Power 5 schools for kids. Otherwise, I'm not recruiting the right kid." And then you look over your shoulder at that window, and you are seeing that brand new 35,000 seat stadium that's on campus coming your way. Where is USF now? Where does USF want to be?
Yeah, I think a really, really unique job. Like you said, building a stadium right out here, building what I think is going to end up being the nicest football complex in the entire country. That's not like coach talk. We've been through a lot to get this facility the right way, and it's going to be absolutely incredible. I think when I took this job, the unique thing about it is the location, the size of the school, what it is academically. There's 53,000 students here in Tampa. It's an AAU school, and we're 28 years old as a football program. And obviously, when I took the job, it wasn't the sexiest job in America, but everything was in place, from the ability to recruit players in this era of transfer portal, the ability to bring guys back. You think about, and Coach will attest to this, forever we came down here to recruit players. I was in Ames, Iowa, trying to convince kids in Florida why they should go up there. And, I was in Champaign, Illinois, convincing them to go up there. So, the type of talent that's down here, inevitably they're going to leave. There's going to be a handful that go somewhere else. I wanted to be in a place where when they want to come back for whatever reason it is, they got to be a culture fit, but I wanted to be a place where they would come back to. So between the ability to acquire talent out of high school and then the ability to bring guys back, I think that was number one. Number two was just the fact that there was a real genuine commitment here to get it flipped. Like, the administration here understood then and understands now, like, we're up against the clock. Like, this landscape, it's changed. It's obviously changing, but with conference realignment, with with everything going on, like you're either going to be in or you're going to be out. And what I give these guys credit for is they said, hell no, we're going to be in. And start with our chairman of our board, like Will Weatherford's is a different mindset human being, very much like me. Like, ain't nobody going to tell him that something isn't real if he thinks it is. And it took me meeting him to say, all right, like this is real. They're going to invest at an incredible clip. They're on a mission to take this place. And you look at, and I'll leave it there. Like, we're 28 years old. We're trying to compete with Florida, who has been playing football for 130 whatever years, and Florida State has been playing football for 130 years. Miami, name them. Like, how do you close the gap? Well, the investment's got to be huge, and you've got to do more than has ever been done here before if you want to be in the conversation for whatever this landscape ends up looking like. And the pressure to win is simply the fact that we are in a race against really ourselves to get there as fast as we can. And as long as the investment was going to be real, and when I say investment, everybody assumes like NIL money and all this. Like,
Right.
no, the investment to hire a staff, a
Right.
real staff, support staff, the ability to feed these kids, house these kids. Like, you look at how we're running this thing, like there's we're spending on things that our players need. And that's when you sit with family here, whether it's here or in their home, like you can't tell me how an ACC school, an SEC school, or Big 12 school, whatever, are gonna, one, coach your kid, develop your kid different than we are, feed them, house them. Like, you can't convince me, and they're gonna get a better education because, like I said, this is an AAU institution that's done incredible things academically. So I know I sound like I'm a recruiting spiel, but these are all the same reasons I took the job 2.5 years ago, because it was going to be real.
By the way, your first home was Moscow, Russia. My first home was probably just a few steps from you. My dad was a resident instructor at USF. My mom started the Kappa Alpha Theta sorority there. My dad worked for the Fiji sorority. I was baby Rob right there on campus by one of those tennis wall courts. My parents would just hear the banging of the tennis ball constantly. Sorority sisters would babysit me. Listen, my love for Tampa goes deep. Come to the Bay. Stay in the Bay. Coach, good luck making it 3 straight ranked wins. USF at Miami. Alex Golesh, thanks so much for your time. Love to talking to you.
Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate you, Coach. That was awesome.
You guys, it was a pleasure. Thanks for having me on. Go Bulls.
Coming up next, Deuce Deuce's Dog of the Week. Players running sprints after the game. We talk hot seats coming off of week 2. And then later, we're going to take a look at how the conferences stack up. Plus, still to come, our week 3 picks.
Light it.
Breakfast might be the most important choice you make all day. That's because with Wendy's 2 for $3 breakfast, you can mix and match your very own perfect pairing of our delicious morning favorites. With this breakfast deal, the choice is all yours, not someone else's, Mark.
And isn't that how it should be? It's your breakfast after all, not Martha's. She could pick up her own breakfast.
Get your own breakfast, Martha.
This one's all you, Stoner, no matter what you choose. From our sausage biscuit with that grilled breakfast sausage, or the egg and cheese biscuit with cracked grade A egg and melty American cheese on a fluffy buttermilk biscuit. A small size of perfectly seasoned potatoes, or a medium hot coffee to power through the morning. All you gotta do is pick your ideal morning pair.
You really can't lose because you're the one calling the shots. The choice is all yours. Wake up to Wendy's 2 for $3 breakfast just the way you want it. Limited time only during breakfast hours. U.S. price and participation may vary. No substitutions. Not valid in a combo. Single item at regular price.
This college football season is delivering weekly showdowns you don't want to miss. And right now, all customers on FanDuel can score a 50% profit boost for this week's big matchup on campus between Georgia, and Tennessee.
Here's how it works. Place a bet on the game, apply your profit boost, and enjoy boosted winnings when your bet hits.
And the best part, you get paid instantly when you win. Use your boost on bets like spreads, over-unders, team props, and so much more. Don't wait. Visit FanDuel.com/triple option to download the app and boost your next bet on this week's marquee game.
Must be 21 plus and present in select states. For Kansas, in affiliation with Kansas Star Casino, or 18 plus and present in D.C., Kentucky, or Wyoming. Opt-in required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable profit boost tokens. Restrictions apply, including any token expiration and max wager amount. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG. Call 1-888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org/chat in Connecticut or visit mdgamblinghelp.org in Maryland. Hope is here. Visit gamblinghelplinema.org or call 800-327-5050 for 24/7 support in Massachusetts or call 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY in New York. What if a quarterback completed 4 out of 5 of his passes, or a point guard hit 4 out of 5 from behind the arc? Well, now when you're hiring, you can play at that level because 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
From healthcare to hospitality to business services, manufacturing, and more, ZipRecruiter makes hiring faster and easier. And today you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/option. ZipRecruiter doesn't wait for the right candidates to find you. ZipRecruiter scouts top talent for you.
First, when you post your job, ZipRecruiter hustles to start showing it to the most qualified people. Then, ZipRecruiter races to build a roster of great candidates for your job. And you can invite your top picks to apply to encourage them to apply sooner.
So go see it for yourself. Go to this exclusive web address to try ZipRecruiter for free. We're giving it away for free right now. ZipRecruiter.com/option. Again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/option. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. Welcome back to the Triple Option presented by Wendy's. Rob Stone, Mark Ingram, Urban Meyer. Coach, you're clearly not in Sarasota. Where are you this week? What are you doing?
Oh,
Let me guess.
I love Mark. So, by the way, Mark, when you play golf with Mark Ingram, the nice guy we see on this video, I hear language come out of his mouth that, I mean, F-bomb, you see shit. I mean, you see stuff that
Is he a
I've
screamer,
never
Coach?
seen. So,
He's a
oh my
screamer?
God. Because I love Mark and he's like my guy. And all of a sudden, the first time I play with him, I mean, what? And he's and his father said, "Watch your mouth, boy," or something like. Remember that when you did?
Oh, you
Yeah,
got Pops Ingram, man.
Yeah,
Oh yeah,
Pops was there too.
senior
That.
looked at him and said, "Watch your mouth, boy." And I said, "Where's this going?"
Yeah.
So,
about to
I'm
fight
at
out there on the
Cordoval.
course.
I'm at Cordoval in Northern California, right outside San Jose, at a charity event. Spectacular. Mark, I got to throw it at you. So I had to write them down. Pebble, Cypress, San Fran, Olympic, and Monterey Peninsula a couple weeks ago. Then last week, I played Shinnecock National, West Hampton, and Garden City. This is after Ireland and Scotland. Mark, I coached for 38 years. I played 5 rounds a year. Now I'm playing a hundy.
I get it now why I'm not invited. It's because you don't like my language. I'll have better golf etiquette.
No. You got
I have
5
better
kids,
golf
bro.
etiquette, okay? I
You
promise.
got 5 kids.
I have better golf etiquette, okay? Just
No,
invite me.
that's
on
not
the
it
trip,
at all. Actually, I love that, but it's just, I'm America's guest right now.
So,
Okay.
Coach, how many of the top 100 courses have you knocked off in the past 3 weeks?
You know, my daughter got me a little thing that says you put pins in where you
Yep.
played. That bad boy's filling up here in the last 2 years.
So, what out of the top 100, out of all those you just named, how many of those were in the top 100?
All of them.
All of them.
Maybe top 50. I mean, the ones.
Sheesh.
I mean, yeah, it's bad. It's and this is after Old Head in Ireland and Renaissance in Muirfield,
Damn,
Scotland.
Coach.
So you got to play better, Mark.
Just remember the small people, okay?
Yeah. I'll see you at the 19th hole, Coach. All right. Every week we're doing the Deuce Deuce Dog of the Week, a player that impressed you. We're breaking records. We're the position that is so undervalued until you need it. And in a college town that is undervalued, but now we know how awesome it is. We're going to Ames, Iowa, right? Where Big Noon Kickoff was.
Man, you hear about the Deuce Deuce Dog of the Week, you think it's going to be a running bike or a quarter bike or, somebody who just went crazy, a wide receiver. Not often is it the kicker. We got to show love to the kickers. And I'm showing love to your boy, Kyle Konrardy, the hometown hero, the hero in Ames, Iowa. The game winner, 54-yard game winner against Iowa. First time they won a Cy-Hawk in Ames since 2011. He went 3 for 3 in the game. Not only did he hit the game winner this year, he hit the game winner on him last year.
Wow.
You talk about a Cy-Hawk legend,
Yeah.
a Cy-Hawk rivalry legend. He did it to you last year, Iowa. He did it to you again this year, Iowa.
Hey,
that boy
let me
Kyle
ask-
Konrardy for the Deuce Deuce Dog of the week.
Hey, Mark, let me ask you. We were there. What a great place. The student body is packed an hour before that game. What do you think it was like after that game for that kicker? Walking through the streets of Ames.
Pretty good.
Hey. He get anything he want on campus. Anything he want, he get it. Kyle
Good for him,
Konrardy.
man. I love that. A walk-on from Dubuque. Remember the week prior, he had kicked a school record 63-yard field goal inside that stadium as well. There's a reason he's one of the best kickers in the nation.
It got so quiet, Rob, when I was on the field standing right, not right.
No.
behind
Did you get in your coach position? Did you do that for the kick?
But when he hit that ball, I mean, it was because I love being standing behind it, and it sounded. I didn't even have to watch it. When he hit that ball, it sounded like a good golf shot. I mean, it was a thump, man.
Okay, I want to do some quick coaching kicker conversations. How many times did you actually go and watch a kicker kick in high school?
A couple of times.
Okay.
We were such a special teams. Most people said long snapper kickers will be
Sure.
walk-ons. We were one of the first. I think we were the first people to.
When you say we, what is
scholarship
that? Is that Utah?
Our
Is that
staff.
Florida?
Bowling
Green?
early Bowling Green.
Yeah.
I was special teams coordinator at Notre Dame, and so I got to learn real fast how important that is. But we would scholarship a long snapper way before people did that. Yeah, and we went to see kickers, and we've been lucky. We had great kickers, great punters, great long snappers.
What were you
all the way
looking
through.
for when you went to go see a kicker? Was it like literally the audio of the foot on ball? Was it?
No,
I
the
don't
kicker's
know.
pretty easy to judge. Does it go through
Is
the
that
upright?
it? Yeah, is that it?
You don't. It's
You
not
think
like
you stink,
another
right?
like the punter's a different animal. The punter's more of an athletic position where you want to finish on balance. It's like I think a punter's a quarterback. You can study that. With a kicker, I would simply say how far can he kick it, and let's and you also look at in high school is he going to grow and can because you just want to continue to get stronger.
Yeah, it's easy to make fun of those kickers, but when you need them and they show up big, like our guy Kyle, there's a reason they're on scholarship, man. There's
He
a
is
reason
the
goes spend
man
some
on
time.
campus.
All right, so
Listen,
he's
I've
the
never
Deuce
envied a
Deuce-
kicker.
He's the
And
Deuce Deuce Dog of the week. Can we do let's do sound off with one of our favorites. Remember in the offseason, Syracuse head coach Fran Brown joined us, and I know once the conversation ended, we were all off mic like, "Ooh, I like that dude, man. He's intense. He brings a little fire to it." And he backed up that fire. So let's take you back. Syracuse last weekend had to rally to beat UConn in overtime. So they got the win. Here's what happened, and here's the explanation of the post-game activities in Syracuse.
Because at certain times in the game, we wasn't running. Guys not running to get lined up. Guys not running to the ball. I want to celebrate the win with the people, but I'm so pissed. Right? I'm mad as heck right now. I was taught through a lot of the coaches that coach me. You either coach it or allow it. So I feel that I'm allowing it, and it's just some things that I got to do. But I just want to hold them to the standard of who they are. Right? These guys are excellent men. They're gonna be great fathers and husbands, and I want to make sure that I'm always holding them to that standard of who they are, and not allowing them to underachieve at anything.
I looked at that, and at first blush, there's a part of me, that's like embarrassed for the players. But the second part is, man, Coach Brown's got that right. He is properly putting these guys in their place to succeed on and off the field.
I have two comments. Number one, I love the dude. I don't know him well. Our interview with him was fantastic.
Yeah.
But number one, he's setting a standard, and Syracuse is not a blue blood. Who knows down the road? They've had success over the years, but he's holding guys to a standard. That's number one. And number two, to do that, those players better they have to respect the heck out of that guy and his staff to do that. Because in today's age, I'm surprised 4 people didn't walk off the field.
Correct.
But that tells you the command, the respect that he's earned from the players. So people ask me if I've ever done. No, I'm not. Usually waited until Monday and gotten it pretty good, or Sunday, but not after the game. Mark,
they'll get
Mark,
theirs. They'll get theirs.
But you know what he said, though? He didn't say drop passes. He didn't say made mistakes. He didn't say – because that's all part of the game.
Yeah.
And the one thing I used to always say, Mark, is we will not coach effort. If you don't hustle to the ball and run the ball, you're not playing. You're done.
Yes.
You're done. Now, if you step with the wrong foot, your wrong hand placement, you drop a pass, that's called the game of football. You're going to make those mistakes. You missed assignment, you're going to make those mistakes. But you don't run your ass to the ball and 4 to 6, A to B, you're not playing here.
Could you pull that off at a blue blood school?
You could. Can you now? I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
DeBoer
Right now,
should have did it at Alabama. Well, at Florida State a couple weeks ago, he should have did it to him then. He talked about them not running to the football, them not having great effort. It wasn't what Coach said. It wasn't a fumble. It wasn't an incomplete pass. It wasn't a missed assignment. It was effort. He said 11 people weren't running to the football. So he said he's holding them to a standard. He said you're either coaching it or you're allowing it. He felt like he was coaching it. He said, I'm not going to allow it anymore. So, yes, you guys won this game, but in order to get to where we want to be, the standard of that we're setting, y'all got to run right now because it's unacceptable what we saw.
I love it. I want to make one more comment, and this is something we used to tell our teams all the time. You have to believe this. The team that plays the hardest will win every game you play.
Yep.
If you don't believe that, that's a cultural issue. And I want to dig into this coach. I think he's
awesome.
He's
going places.
He's doing some incredible stuff there. And how many, I'm just trying to think who could do that. And he's one of
That's the thing. There's a lot of coaches that might not have the guts to pull that off, or the power in that locker room. I don't think there was any questioning. I think Fran saw that and said, "Go run. We're not done here. That wasn't acceptable."
The thing about Fran is he's an old school, hard-nosed coach. He's from New Jersey.
Yes.
And one thing is he has a standard of where he wants to go for that program, and he cares about his players. He said that they're going to be better fathers and better men from what they're going through running post-victory. So not only does he care about where the program and the standard of what the program is supposed to be, he cares about the
first
men
time
on
college
his team.
football history. First time that's ever done.
In D1, in major D1.
I don't think this is something they track, Coach.
Newt Rockney or Frank Leahy.
That's what I'm saying. Like, can you imagine one of these legendary coaches and programs, inside Notre Dame Stadium and the run and win sprints at the end of the game?
I respect it, though, Coach, because he 100%. Said, I'm either coaching it or I'm allowing it. He felt like he was coaching
across
it.
The board.
He said, so I'm not about to allow it no more.
100%.
Run your ass.
I hope
we got to get him back on. We got to get him back on.
I hope everybody out there is enjoying the frog in Mark's throat this week. This is you and I both have been coughing up some oysters over here. All right, clear your throat here. Jeez. We're gonna give Coach some time. So that right there from Syracuse was our fresh take of the week, presented by Wendy's. Wake up with Wendy's breakfast. Love you, Wendy's. You are so good to us, man. All right, hard to believe. Here we are. We're heading into week 3, but we have our first red alert of the year. We got a couple coaches that are on the hot seat. That seat is getting a little red right now.
Of course,
Already. And by the way, Mark, this wasn't you bringing up the concept. It wasn't me bringing up the concept. Coach wanted to talk about coaches on the hot seat for a reason. We'll get to that in a second. So a couple of the big names that are on an early hot seat. We talked with Alex Golesh earlier, the head coach at USF. Well, he just kind of reinforced the concept that Billy Napier in Gainesville is on the hot seat. Lost to South Florida as an 18.5-point favorite at home last year. They went 8-5 after that 4-5 start. Remaining schedule is just brutal, guys. At LSU, at Miami, Texas, at A&M, blah, 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 blah. It is brutal, and it's a big buyout. Let's go to your place, Mark. Kalen DeBoer. Now, after the win, 6-5 in his last 11 games. Last year went 9-4, but those 4 losses to unranked teams. Mike Gundy, Rutrow, 21st season Oklahoma State. What a great job he has done, by the way, in Stillwater. I think people are forgetting about that, but what have you done for me lately, right? Said Janet Jackson, and last season did not go great. 3-9, including 0-9 in conference play. Had a little chatter with Coach Lanning up there in Oregon last week, and what's the old Breakfast Club thing? You mess with the bull, you get the horn, something like that. Well, he messed with the duck, and the duck did things to the Cowboys, 69-3.
The duck did things.
The duck did some things, did the Cowboy dirty. 69-3.
Wow.
So, Coach, there's a lot of fans out there. There's a lot of hand wringing. There's people saying this isn't working. We need to change. Who cares about these buyouts? You take all of this in, and you're the one who wanted to talk about this. So, what is it about it that triggered it for you?
This is a fiscal conversation, not a personal conversation. You know, it breaks my heart about Florida because I'm attached to Florida. I don't know Coach Napier well, but I've lived there, and I know they've just not had what they want. So this is, once again, it's not directed at the person; it's directed at fiscal. And actually, Colin Coward brought this up to me. We were talking one day on air on the Herd, and he said, and I've done some research on this. He said that you're going to see the end of the big buyouts. People are going to stick with coaches longer. And then you just start thinking fiscally. You're going to see the these big monstrous facilities. I think it's going to slow down a little bit. I know Ohio State right now had on the books to redo the whole. They're on hold. The national champions are on hold, and it's why there's only so much. It's a finite number money. You know, it used to be kind of infinite because television contracts. You had players. Your labor or your players were getting nothing. And then what would they do? They'd pay the coaches astronomical amount of money, and then all those millions left, they'd go build, these locker rooms and these, So I think the era of buyouts and the era of new facilities going up every 3 or 4 years are gone. Now that money is going to whom? And I'm not saying it's wrong.
No.
But that's where it's going to the player. And so when Colin said that to me, I kind of did some research, and it's going to be interesting to see because you're throwing around some big, and not some not so big, but you're throwing around some big buyouts, which I don't know if teams, because at the end of the day, that money, where does it come from? You can't say the school, that has to be a direct donor, but the donors are also supplying money as form of the NIL. So I think it's very, very intriguing to watch what's going to happen.
Yeah, you talk about buyouts, like they're not going to be willing to pay those anymore, Coach, because if you pay that to a coach, let's see, the most recent buyouts, Jimbo Fisher, $77.5 million.
That's done. That won't happen again.
Gus Malzahn, $22 million. Charlie Weiss, $19 million. That's a whole national championship roster.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, and like you said, with the facilities, unlimited money getting spent to upgrade facilities every 3 years. No, you're going to stay in this facility. I'm going to pay you because I need my roster to be able to compete for a title. So, like, this is very interesting and an intriguing concept, Coach. Good job.
The interesting thing too, Rob and Mark,
producer Meyer,
is that, do you remember the NFL's changed because now the money's become so ridiculous? But I was shocked when I started going to NFL training camps and facilities. The NFL used to be garbage.
Cheeked up.
And I'm like, wait a minute, I'm at Utah and I have better facilities than most NFL programs. Yeah. Why? Because where's the money go? The money goes to the player.
Yep.
It's changed a lot now because of free
the player
agency
in the owner's pocket.
When I first went to the Jags, I mean, the facility was a bad high school. I couldn't get over that. Well, you got multi-million-dollar athletes in this bad high school facility. But, I think that's changing because of the free agency and the money in the NFL has been.
Let's talk about change. Here's one way it changes. You take these buyouts out of the contract. Now, the agents have done their job that are representing these coaches. I get it, right? They want financial stability. They want the universities to believe in them and trust in them and give them a long run. But at some point, some of these schools are going to say, yeah, we're not going to offer you that buyout.
Well,
right?
You're not going to get the coach then.
Well, maybe that's the case.
That's the marketplace.
I understand that's the marketplace, but marketplaces change.
Right.
And if those ADs get together, like, we can't keep doing this in this day and age.
It says without cause. There is cause.
You're losing.
Yeah.
You caused me to fire you by losing so many games.
Yeah. If you were winning, there would be no cause, but you're losing. So the cause is you're not winning. So can we come to
there's a buyout I'm
agreement?
looking right in front of me, $63 million.
Insane numbers, Coach.
I don't see it happening.
So then you're stuck. Then
like
you're stuck.
Chuck.
You're eating
stuck like Chuck.
Yeah, you're eating dinner next to a dude you don't want to be with for a couple years because you don't want to pay that final tab when it comes up. You get the alligator arms, but
cheaper to keep her. in real time.
I had never heard that one. Oh no, that's awful. I hope my wife is not listening to the pod this week.
Well, should we
Odds
are
are she's
married,
not.
but
Yeah, she's happily married as far as I know. All right, coming up next, we take a look at the big games in week 3. We're going to make our picks in the 2-minute drill and go 3 and out, talking conferences when the triple option presented by Wendy's continues.
Light it.
Welcome back to the triple option. Rob, Urban, Mark back here with you. Time now for 3 and out. This week we are going to rank, heading into week 3, the top 3 conferences. All right, and we're going to start 3, 2, and 1. Mark, you get first dibs. Who's at number 3?
Who's at number 3?
Is it a battle between two
this is like
conferences?
we can sit here and talk this and argue this for however long you want. But I mean, if you just want me to be quick and just get through this thing, I mean, the bottom 2, you got to go either the Big 12 or the ACC. And I love the Big 12. They show us lots of love.
Agreed.
But when you talk about ACC, their top heavy is better than the Big 12's top heavy. You have Miami. You have Florida State, who is looking much better this year. You have Clemson, who is perennially one of the better teams in the country, as opposed to the Big 12. You have Iowa State and Texas Tech, who spent a great investment on their roster. So right now, when you go for number 3, I'm going ACC over Big 12 because I think their top teams would beat the Big 12's top teams.
Number 2.
Number 2, now here you go when you can get the clickbait. No, but last 2 national champions come out of the Big 10.
Mm-hmm.
But Michigan is whatever.
Okay.
But the Big 10 needs to – Ohio State is carrying the Big 10 right now. Ohio State is literally carrying the Big 10.
And Oregon.
So I think –
and Penn State.
And who?
Penn State.
Oh, my gosh. I got to see it to believe it, all right? I
Okay,
gotta see
that's
it.
fair.
I still got to see it to believe it with Penn State.
So you're telling
and
me
Oregon.
Big 10 is number 2.
But listen, no, I'm not saying that. I'm not
you're
saying
not?
that.
Okay.
I think the Big 10's top 3 teams can easily compete with the SEC's top 3 teams, where it wasn't like that. It wasn't like that in past 5 years ago. There was a kind of a separation, kind of Ohio State only, right? And now you have Penn State, you have Oregon, Michigan with this Bryce Underwood. We'll see how they develop. But when you talk about depth as a conference, the SEC by far, they have 11 teams in the top 25 right now, as opposed to the Big 10 has 6. So the top of the league, I think, is very close. So I'll give it to Big 10 right now. I'll give Big 10 number 1 because they have the last 2 national champions. Ohio State beat Texas out of the SEC. So recently, I'll give it to Big 10 right now. But as an overall conference and depth of a conference, I have to go to the SEC. You have LSU, you have Georgia, you have Texas, South Carolina, Oklahoma, Tennessee, A&M, Ole Miss, Alabama, Booty Cheek, Barner, Auburn, and Missouri. They're all in the top 25. That's 11 teams. So when you talk about depth of a conference, SEC is second to none.
All right, here's my top 3 conferences right now. The ACC edges the Big 12 for number 3. You have Miami, you have Florida State. Yeah, Florida State and Clemson all bringing national title conversation aspirations to the table, something that the Big 12 can't do quite yet. At number 2 for me, it is the Big 10. As we mentioned, they're buoyed by the Buckeyes and that win over Texas. The promise, Mark, of Penn State, what Oregon is. And let's throw Illinois in the conversation as well. But number 1, it's the SEC. Despite Alabama and Florida with those early season issues. LSU, though, they proved at Clemson they are a title contender. Ditto for Georgia. Ditto for Texas. Maybe Tennessee. And dare I say, Oklahoma is now back in the national title conversation. ACC, you're at 3. Big 10, you're at 2. SEC, number 1. Coach?
Yeah, I don't have much to add. I agree with everything you guys said. I think the ACC or the Big 12, I mean, the losses, I was just staring at it. Arizona State losing to Mississippi State, that's a really
that one
bad
hurt.
loss.
It wasn't Stark Vegas, but
Oak
still,
State
that one
getting
hurt.
smoked. West Virginia losing to Ohio, our friend Rich Rodriguez, and Kansas State losing to Army. So ACC's ahead of them. There's just – it's a little bit like when your dogs aren't dogs, and you have to have – I think the one thing that's holding the Big Ten back a little bit, I still think they're number 1 because you're the king until you're the king unless someone beats the king, and Texas didn't do it. So, and I know there's more depth in the SEC, but I would go. I'd go ACC third, SEC. I do agree depth's probably better, but at the end of the day, we're still early in the season, and I like Penn State, Ohio State, and Oregon. There's more depth in the SEC, but just go beat. All you got to do SEC is beat the Big Ten, and it's an easy shift. And they haven't done it.
By the way, if Michigan took care of Oklahoma on the road last week, I think the Big Ten conversation would be up a little bit higher than the SEC. But
right, that's a
the
good
Bryce
point.
the Bryce Underwood conversation is fascinating. So much love, deservedly so, after what he did in Week 1, and then Brent Venables again calling the plays defensively for Oklahoma this season. That defense really messed with the true freshman Bryce Underwood. 9 of 24, 142 yards, no touchdowns, no interceptions.
And then your boy Meyer. He's a problem.
Listen, I've been saying Meyer for Heisman, he has got to be in the conversation after what he did. But I just want to talk about Underwood real quick. What you saw from him, Coach, what you saw from Michigan, and also, by the way, what's coming in the next couple days, frankly, what Michigan is in the midst of right now with their head coach.
Well, we have Dave Portnoy on our Big Noon, and he made the comment, the best freshman ever. And I just think after beating New Mexico, that happens. Everybody gets excited, and I did. I mean, I see an incredible talent. You know what I still see? Incredible talent. What did you think was going to happen? He's facing Brent Venables, I think one of the best defensive coordinators, and I coached against him in modern history as far as, and Mark, it's not just fundamentals. They play 1/3 bear, 1/3 odd, and 1/3 four down. And for the viewer listener, for a quarterback and offensive line, I've coached it. That's almost impossible to prepare for. And then the split package is unbelievable. So they played Brent Venables, the D coordinator. They have great players. They've done a good job. I watched that game. And then number 3, it's on the road in Norman, Oklahoma. What do you think is going to happen with a true freshman? Mm-hmm. My point is that's not the true freshman's job to win that game. It's the players around them.
Right.
True freshmen, true freshmen don't win that game. Now, They might manage it like a Julian Sayin, who's not he's a redshirt freshman. No, he's a sophomore because he played a little bit last year. But the way you manage a game is you don't put it on his shoulders. And everyone has to – Mark, you've been in those games. If I was playing with Mark – if Mark was playing for me and I was playing a true freshman or first-time starter, I have my arm around Mark Ingram and says, I'm going to blow you out today, pal.
Yep.
You will not. We'll help you get off the field after the game's over, but you have to carry the load. This kid can't do that. Does that mean he's not? And everybody pumped. He's going to be fine.
Yes.
I still think he's going to be a great player. Now, the other conversation, which not many people talk about, the head coach is, was a self-suspension? Is that what the NCAA? First of all, I put a red line through the NCAA. In my mind, they do not exist anymore. So I'm just anxious now. What is it, against Central Michigan where that guy was on the sidelines? You can't make this up.
It's the Stallions Bowl.
Yeah, the guy was dressed in
Connor Stallions.
It was like a Halloween outfit, right? Mark, I'm going to go dress like Bear Bryant. So, he's on the sideline.
Hey, you'd look good in houndstooth, Coach. I bet Coach would look good in houndstooth.
And I make light of it because, are you shitting me? That actually happened. And so the coach is going to be suspended for 2 games. But I don't, but they're going to play teams that they'll just wipe the floor with. But I don't know. That whole thing still, but as far as Bryce Underwood, he's still going to be a great player.
Bryce Underwood,
the other players got to pick up the slack.
Yeah. When you have a true freshman quarterback going on the road to Oklahoma against a Brent Venables defense and a Meyer who is going absolutely berserk, it is up to to echo what Coach said. It is up to the team and the coaching staff to surround this young true freshman and everyone elevate their level of play to make his job as easy as possible. Don't put the pressure on him, expect him to make every single throw, every single decision, get out of bad plays, into good plays. No, everyone else has to elevate their level of play, their level of coaching to make this young freshman quarterback's job as easy as possible on the road against a tough Oklahoma team.
Mark, last week on Big Noon Kickoff, you and Matt did your first Club Heisman of the season, right, when we were in Ames. You did not have Meyer in it, correct?
Meyer was in there. Maddie had Meyer.
He was still in line, right? He was trying
I think he was
trying to get a buddy to sneak him in through the back door,
he was in line, but the bouncers had seen him.
Hey guys.
The bouncers seen him.
Now week 3, where's Meyer?
He's in the corner. He's in the corner section. He got Norman in there with him, and they going crazy. They popping champagne bottles of Ace.
Okay,
it's going up in the club.
All right. I like that kid. I don't think Oklahoma can run him as much as they did against Michigan, against some of those monsters week in and week out in the SEC. But boy, that kid's got some Baker Mayfield in him, right?
The mobility is an advantage, man. You got to have the mobility. You got to use the mobility. Mobile quarterbacks give these defensive coordinators nightmares, and they lose sleep at night.
Correct.
They lose sleep at night.
All right, I'll talk about this later. We're running heavy this week. All right, you guys ready for 2-minute drill? We're going to go up tempo. I remind you, we're going up tempo. All right, Coach, 2-minute drill. It's brought to you by FanDuel. Visit FanDuel.com/triple option to download the app and take advantage of a 50% profit boost today. Coach, we are going to start with you, a game you know well. Florida at LSU. The Tigers favored by 9.5. 9.5. Over under 51.5 points, Coach.
I told you this one pains me, man. That was when the old lady flipped me off as I was coming into a night game, and Mark, she double shot me at the
double bird.
She was on a walker, and she got eye contact as you make that that drive into that.
The walker
into
away.
LSU. Yeah.
Bam.
And she put the walker down. She didn't throw it away. She could barely stand up, and she did the bang, double bang.
By the way, you want fans like that on your team, man. You wish you had those in Gainesville.
And then you hear things hitting the bus as you're going in there. And
they pushing the bus.
And the one guy threw that stuff on me. So I mean, that is a nasty, rugged place. And so the first time when I was going to look at this, my first question was, Mark, Rob, what time is the game? And it's a night one.
Yeah, trouble.
And we won one game at night down there. We were 1-2 or 1-3 down there. It's a rugged place. They just don't lose. And I think Brian Kelly's got it going. I'm a Gator. I'm a Gator fan. I don't want to do this, but I'm picking LSU over the 9.5.
Okay.
Over.
All right.
You're laying the points.
Yeah, I think that's a tough rugged. I think it's close for a minute, but after that loss, I'll tell you what, you're gonna find out.
Yes.
I always use the term grown ass men. What do you have in that locker room, pal? Because you can say the coach, and I get it. That's his job. But it's also,
do you have Coach, remember the rough start? Remember the rough start last
Mark Ingram.
The rough start for Florida last year, and Napier was able to turn it around.
Sure. And it wasn't Napier. It was the grown-ass men in the locker room. So it's worked together on that.
Again, he's the coach, so he was able to turn it around. Whatever that was, the culture, the mood, the tone, whatever. Right. But they've been there before, but you can't. If you're a Gator, you can't keep finding yourself in these situations, right?
Yeah.
We can't.
And plus, last year that was at home.
That
was at home. This is at LSU at night.
Ranked showdown, number 16 Texas A&M at 8th ranked Notre Dame. This one feels kind of like a season-defining type game,
man.
Really for both of them, right? Notre Dame favored at home by 6.5. Over under 48.5. A lot is going to depend on the health of Texas A&M QB Marcel Reed. Left Saturday's big win over Utah State in the second half with a lower body injury. He's a dual threat cat. So far, guys, 0 turnovers, and he's accounted for 7 touchdowns. 509 yards through the air, leads the team with 105 yards rushing. Maroon and white, by the way, the offense has been going, right? 86 points in their first 2 games. They got this guy, Cassius Howe, last week. I don't know if you guys saw this. He had back-to-back sacks. 3 straight plays where he had sacks. The Maroon and White D, they have forced 17 punts this season. That's second most in the nation. And they have also forced 11 3-and-outs. So they are solid on both sides of the ball. What's really interesting about Notre Dame, they're coming off the week 1 loss at Miami, and then a week 2 bye to get ready for Texas A&M. CJ Carr, the freshman quarterback, pretty good in his debut, I would say, right? 221, 2 touchdowns, threw a pick, was sacked 3 times. Our friend Brady Quinn raves about him, right? Brady's really high on the future of CJ Carr. Jeremiah Love, where was Jeremiah Love in South Beach, right, Mark? 10 carries, 33 yards. Remember, he went over 1,100 yards last season. Against Miami, he had a total of 14 touches, 59 yards. Not enough, right? I'm talking to a running back. Of course it's not enough, right? A guy like Love, the best running back in the country. Feed him. Feed him. Here's why, though, this one is dire. This is dire for your Irish coach. Already 0-1. Should they go to 0-2, and you look at the rest of their schedule, which I would describe aggressively as meh, they have no current ranked teams left on their schedule. USC will probably be ranked when they meet October 18th. But with the schedule that's in front of them, the fact they're not in a conference, they have to win this game if they want to get back to the college football playoffs. And because of that factor, I like the Irish, and I like the Irish to cover.
Ooh. You're laying the points.
I am, my friend. I am. Mark, you're up, brother. All right.
got
Georgia at Tennessee. Bulldogs on the road and favored by 6.5. The over-under 50.5. Georgia at Tennessee.
Man.
Sheesh.
Y'all both going laying the points.
Sheesh.
Lord, there's a common theme here. No, but man, Georgia, SEC
Sing
champ.
it. Hold on. First, you got to sing it.
Georgia. My voice is a little raspy. Sorry, y'all.
It's a bad day to ask you to sing. Sorry, that's on me.
But no,
that's
Georgia
a bad teammate.
Yeah, Georgia replacing 15 starters from last year's SEC championship team. But what do? They just reload. They have 16 former 5-stars on the roster. Gunnar Stockton, it's his time. It's his time as a Bulldog. He's been playing really well in his first 2 games. Obviously, it's just Marshall and Austin Peay. But still, 251 total yards per game, 4 touchdowns. What did they need last year? They need some help on the outside. What do, Stoner? They go and get one of the most explosive receivers in the country in the transfer portal, wide receiver Zachariah Branch from USC. So can they be more explosive on offense? I think they can be. Kirby's defense, always strong. Only giving up 13 points this season so far. Yes, only Marshall and Austin Peay. But still, they've held them under 80 yards rushing. So offense, defense, Georgia is going to be Georgia. So we'll see what we got on the road at Tennessee. Tennessee hasn't beaten them since 2016. Kirby's first season as a head coach there. Now, let's go to the Volunteers. We know about the shenanigans they had with Nico Iamaleava and that public NIL dispute they had. But guess what? They went and got a transfer quarterback, Joey Aguilar. And he's been doing his thing his first 2 weeks. Yes, it was against our boy Coach Fran, Syracuse, and East Tennessee State, but they scored 45 points and over 45 points each game this year. He's averaging 285 total yards per game, 5 touchdowns, no interceptions. The defense, 8 total sacks. 5 different players have a sack. They're the number 1 scoring offense and the number 1 total offense in the SEC. So, with that being said, we have a great legendary SEC matchup on our hands in this week 3. And your boy is going with Georgia. And I'm laying the points.
Hey.
I like Georgia by a touchdown.
All right. By the way, Coach, do you have your spikes on right now? Are you like ready to sprint out that door behind you and go hit the links?
Don't worry about me. You can stay out of my private. I don't. Yeah, I do.
Yeah. Love it. Hey, follow, subscribe, rate us on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts, as well as across social media, 3X Option Show. Please leave comments as well. We would love to answer them on the show. And as always, thanks to our wonderful sponsors, Wendy's, ZipRecruiter, and FanDuel. Enjoy the games this week, and we'll see you again next week.
Deuce.
Coach, hit it long, hit it straight.
Yep. And sink them putts, man.